These pancakes are something else, I'll tell you. These pancakes are as large as my win in Puerto Rico last night. I must admit, the margin was just about as good. That is really something. You haven't gone to work on this pancake yet.
No, I haven't. I'm too nervous to eat it.
Oh, come on. I'll help you out. Don't worry. You're kind to be here so bright and early this morning and to welcome me, and I appreciate the willingness to. Oh, Charlie Parker's. How many years you been here? 1991.
A good amount of people barricaded right next to Charlie Parker's, waiting for Governor Romney to come back out here and maybe shake some more hands. However, they do have a vehicle pulled up. Looks like they're getting ready to rush the governor into the vehicle and on to his next campaign stop. So uncertain if we're going to have more face-to-face time with the governor here at Charlie Parker's for the crowd waiting outside. And I'm also waiting to talk with State Senator Sam McCann about what his thoughts are of the governor making a stop here into the capital city, and also his message of limited government, lower taxes for businesses, with State Senator Sam McCann being a small business owner as well, and the importance of having a message to go up against the current administration. And State Senator Sam McCann is here outside. Also inside, we have Mayor Mike Houston, former Mayor Karen Acera. I saw Representative Rich Brower. You heard from State Senator Dan Rutherford, the campaign chair for Mitt Romney. Also, Congressman Aaron Schock as well, who is endorsing Governor Mitt Romney for the presidential bid. So let's see if we can come up and join this interviewing process with State Senator Sam McCann.
I think we are starting to wake up. I mean, that's the great thing about what's going on today in Illinois, is I do believe that we are starting to wake up. I think that this silent majority that many of us talk about being, we are tired of being silent. We realize that our views are this concept of getting back to the principles and the values that made us great and returning to that's not going to happen by osmosis. We got to get up out of the Barca Lounger, stop screaming at the television set, and get engaged. That's what I did a couple of years ago when I decided to run, and that's why you have so many people out here this morning. And again, once we have people get fed up and say enough is enough and demand better, we will get better. But we just have not seen enough folks demand better up until this point. But again, I do believe it is changing, and it's changing for the better.
President Obama really motivated a young generation 4 years ago when he ran for office. There are a lot of young faces out here. What do you think that says about what Governor Romney is doing and how much momentum he's gaining among that crowd?
I think obviously you want to have folks from all across the spectrum, all age groups, all socioeconomic backgrounds. But I think the youth realize that what President Obama was saying before, it almost sounded too good to be true. It sounded like a fairy tale. And I think so many folks of all age groups were hoping that the fairy tale could come true. But we obviously realize now that if it sounds too good to be true, it usually is, and it was. And so now again, they're looking for someone who has real life experience, someone who didn't just get out of school and then become a bureaucrat and then become an elected official. One I see as a lawmaker, I've been there for 14 months as a legislator here in the state of Illinois, and one of the most dangerous things that can happen is lawmakers and then the executive branch enforcing those laws. Folks are there, so many folks that are there have never really experienced life, and so they're thusly making laws that affect society. It's a society that many of them have never really been a part of. They've always been on the detached, almost in a subgroup. And so I think, again, whether it's the youth here, whether it's the older folks, whether it's those of us in the middle, we're looking for leadership, and that's what I'm looking for from a presidential candidate, and that's what I want to offer to my constituents is leadership.
What does it mean that Governor Mitt Romney is here in the capital city, in a state that usually isn't really heavily contested by GOP contenders?
What does it mean as far as, I think he obviously cares enough about us to come here. He knows that he is in a contested race, and I mean, and any good candidate knows that you don't quit fighting. You always have to work like you're 10 points behind. That's the only way that you're going to stay ahead. And anyone who's ever run a successful campaign knows that. And if you've run an unsuccessful campaign, you probably know it after it's too late. So I think Governor Romney is here doing what good candidates do, and he's out here looking to look us in the eye and ask us for a vote.
What are your thoughts on some of the criticism about not challenging his opponent, Rick Santorum's delegates? Is this just party politics, internal party politics, or what are your thoughts about that?
Right now, one of the biggest problems that we face in Illinois, the Illinois Republican Party, as well as I think the National Republican Party, is we suffer from an affliction, and we that affliction is called cannibalism. We seem to really want to tear each other apart, and I think we need to look for leaders within the Republican Party, and we need to get leaders in our government that can do something. They need to lead by building people up and by bringing people together rather than dividing them.
Thank you very much. That was State Senator Sam McCann here outside of the Governor Mitt Romney speech at Charlie Parker's Diner on 970 WMAY. Let me know what day of the week that would be best. Oh, it'd be Wednesday at about 11. Wednesday about 11? Downtown studio.